Good morning. So today we are still at Cummingston where we were on the last session, but different sunrise, a bit more colour in the sky than last time. I hope you're picking out the colour on there, and also those little things of beauty just down there on the beach. So we've got these rock pinnacles down here that I remembered about from, must be about 25 years ago when I climbed one of those when I was in the cadets. I must have been about 15, 16 years old, and thought these are going to really work out nice for a good sunset. I didn't want to waste my time the other day when I knew the sky wasn't going to be too grey, so I thought I'd come up here, treat myself to something good, a bit of colour behind the sky, colour pinging off the sea as well. And yeah, what we've done today is I don't want to miss this photo opportunity here, so while we're on the camera. But yeah, we've got ourselves up here, perched on the clock. Met up with Jonathan today as well, another Fujifilm shooter with a format user as well, and we've got ourselves walked down from the car park we parked last time and get ourselves set up. So we've got a nice bit of light heading off in the distance, filters are all set up, typical hard grad set in there at the moment, polarizer, getting around an 8-second exposure. I think we're about 20 minutes away from sunrise. The colour really is coming into the sky. There's a lot of fluffy cloud just hanging around right above a bank of cloud just above Hopeman in the distance there as well. So with that, I'm hoping we're going to get a nice treat of pink fluffy cloud, but now I've mentioned that, we're probably not going to get it. So I'm going to get a few more photos rattled off and get myself set up ready for the sun popping up over the horizon. Well, I've rattled off a few photos now, and this light hasn't exactly played how I wanted it to be. We've got about, I think it's about 8 minutes now till sunrise, but I say we've still got a little bit of colour off in the distance in there now. 3-stop hard grads in there. I've now stuck in the 6-stop ND as well, just to see if we can get a bit of the cloud movement above the image as well. But from there, I might move a little bit further around, concentrate more on some of these pinnacles down there as well, see if we can get some of the light hitting off those. But I think I've got my sunrise shot, definitely. This 2-minute exposure could be quite interesting, but I've also gone a lot wider. I've got the 10-24mm on here to really capture the shape of this sort of mini cove bit here as well. And we get the shape of the cliff edge and run down this, you should actually get a sense of the scale here as well. So from there, I'm going to probably just flip back on the 1655, go for the same sort of composition before, do the 2-minute exposure, see how we get on with that. Well, just been for a bit of a stomp further along the top of the cliffs to see what else I can find and come back. This sky is putting on a bit of a display now, so I've just changing the exposure around a little bit and setting out because there's a bit more light available now, so not on such a long exposure, but I'm keen to get further along, so I want to try and something a little bit different with the composition here with the rocks. The water's coming up. I'm not too keen on going down there because tide is coming in quite quick. I don't know the tides here, and the last thing I want to be doing is getting stuck and waste the Coast Guard's time in getting me out and getting me saved. It's not fair on them in the slightest. And yeah, exposure worked out quite nice on there now. It says 25 seconds. Got a nice bit of the colour on the horizon there as well. What I might do is just quickly swap the lenses around, do the same exposure with a tighter composition I had earlier on as well, and then push further around. By that time the light's going to be done on there and we can focus on some of these nice clouds we've been left with for today as well. So, changed location, got down on the beach now. Tide is coming in, so I'm being very, very careful. I don't want to overstay my welcome here and have nature bite me on the bum. but I've got down really close to the pinnacle, the furthest one that was in the photo earlier, and gone for the wide angle lens. I'm on about 12-13 mil. Got a hard grad in there still, the 3-stop. Might swap it over for a soft grad, but it's kind of working for what I'm doing. So I'm going to maximise this cloud and the last bit of colour in there, getting the movement of the rocks in here. But I whacked in a 10-stop filter, and with that I am getting about 2-minute exposure. I've had to open up the aperture to f5.6, but shooting that wide, it shouldn't really be too much of an issue, to be honest, because the depth of field's not going to be much in play as well. Focus is tack sharp right in the middle of the frame as well. So from there, 2 minutes of waiting, see what happens. I think it's going to work, but from there I am going to make a bit of a move, and I'm going to try and get up on top of there to shoot straight down the pinnacle. But first of all, look what's behind me. I'd be mad not to take advantage of that. That light is just hitting off there. See if I can get something done, but I'm just not too keen on the actual cliff edge on the what you would be on the left hand side as you look at it. So it might work, it might not. I like how this one that I'm shooting now works, because there's a nice bit of gap between the cliff edge and the actual it's isolated. So with that, we are sort of, I mean, it's just making it a little bit separate from the shot, which is going to work a treat. But 2-minute exposure is nearly done, so I'm going to get to check, see how we've got looking, and then I'm going to try and shoot one behind us. Only going to give that a few minutes, see what I can get to work from that. If that's not happening, I'm then going to get on top of that cliff there, because I know that shot is going to work. It's just going to have to get myself in the right place. There we go. So I've made it up on top of the cliffs now. A bit of a stomp, but couldn't get to the bit I thought I'd get to. But I've managed to find myself on this little ledge here, which is probably not the safest of places in the world. But I remember standing here in this exact spot, like I say, about 25 years ago. So I don't think the ledge is going to be going anywhere fast. But I've got the shot I wanted. I've isolated the rock, the pinnacle. Also got a wider one as well with the rock itself. What I might do there is a quick shot, 6-second exposure, but focus stack it so we can get all the detail absolutely pin sharp. So bear with me now, I'm going to quickly set that up, and from there I'm going to move on to the next spot. Well, you know my always famous last words. There we go. I said I'll see you later. Well, a bit sooner than you'd have thought. So, walking back to the car, just having to spot this composition here, looking back onto where I was actually shooting the other day, and then with the Hopeman Harbour right off in the distance, the light just pinging off the rocks as well. Absolutely gorgeous. So I've stuck on the 5140. I'm on 140mm, so in full frame terms, that's 200mm, shooting around about f11, and for an 8-second exposure, just catching that swirl of the water. I've also done a little composition using the rocks as the foreground as well, and from that I'm going to call it a wrap, because we're off further up the coast. So as I said, as always, if you liked what you've seen, feel free to share, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, like I say, tell me what you like, what you don't like if you want, and yeah, catch you later. Bye bye.